G'day guys, and welcome back to another video. Obviously you may have seen my recent video. I've got a job in cybersecurity, which absolutely amazing. I'm stoked to be there, and what a time, what a time. So I thought I would take this opportunity to introduce how I got into the cybersecurity industry step by step. So this will probably cover a fair bit of content in terms of my story and how I got into IT and all sorts of stuff. So feel free to get stuck in, and I've got some show and tell as well. So hope you guys enjoy. Subscribe away, like the video if you enjoy it, if you find it valuable. I really appreciate it and helps me just keep ticking along with the content. So to start it all off, the story from day dot. I got into IT in 2009. I decided to do computer programming in year 9, and through that I met a friend who, funnily enough, it's come full circle. I now work with him. I got him sort of along to the team and all part of it. So I suppose just before I go there, currently I'm working for a MSSP, so that's a managed security services provider. So on behalf of other companies, we ensure obviously that they are secure and, doing everything we can to ensure that they stay as safe as possible, and, try and stop the bad guys doing bad stuff and improving their security posture and, responding to incidents and alerts and all those sorts of things. So that's a little bit about myself right now. And essentially my role is a SOC analyst or cybersecurity analyst. And that's essentially where I'm at now. And it's crazy to be here. It's been a long time coming along, but I'm sure I'll cover that in my story, which I'll get to now. So 2009, obviously, computer programming class, and then became good friends with my mate there, and that was invaluable with learning a fair bit about computer programming and game maker and making games. And I remember, became friends and pretty much just going over to his house and then just showing me all this cool stuff and like pulling processes apart. I'm like, oh, this looks cool. And I just got interested. And then my dad had computer mags and all sorts of stuff. So read through those and whatnot. I was like, oh yeah, cool, little tips and tricks. And I was all about that, just like making your computer actually operate at a decent speed back in the day. And that learnt a lot there, and I was just curious. So that's obviously step one. Obviously, a big part of being involved in the technology space. You do have to have an interest, and whilst there's reasonable money to be made, you don't want to be going into IT just for money, because there's a fair bit to it. But yeah, you got to enjoy the process, no doubt. Otherwise, if it's just money, then it's going to be a pretty tough journey, that's for sure. So just kept, having a look at things and doing research. I don't think I really had internet back at home. I think we had like 200 meg of internet back in 2009. That's when I first got the internet at my primary residence. Had it elsewhere, but it's funny what it's like now, just having internet and the access and the speed, the bandwidth, the unlimited bandwidth. It's pretty much nuts. I should say usage, not bandwidth. But yeah, from there, VCE, and just going into VCE, so that's year 11 in Australian terminology. I decided to do vet IT, so this led me to go down the school-based apprenticeship route. So from there, I did some work placement at a school on one of the days. So one of those days I had to do, it was like 6 single periods, so I missed out on 6 lots of work and I had to catch up, but that's okay. We made it work. That's all fine, and that's all good. I worked at a high school and was sort of like the first point of contact there. And then on Tuesday nights, I went to TAFE to get my Cert 3. So it was kind of like doing the Cert 3 was like the educational part of it, and the practical part of it was obviously working at the school, which I did 1 day a week for pretty much just the full Thursday, whatever. That was a really good experience at the school, like lots of kids and lots of laptops, lots of problems. So yeah, I was first in line there on the help desk, assisting with any issues. It might be my hard drive's broken, or it might be my computer's freezing, or pretty much anything. The printer's not working, the vacuum cleaner is not working, the the fridge is offline, so yeah, it could be pretty much anything. But yeah, or I need to get access to Internet Explorer. That's a good joke. So yeah, I did that for 12 months, 1 day a week, and got a few dollars as well, which was nice. I wasn't earning a lot of money back then, but it was nice to get a few dollars in the door and sort of start there. So I obviously each Tuesday night would go and do my set 3, and that was all sorts of like a bit of Cisco stuff, pulling apart PCs and putting them back together, and just learning all the theory and user groups and stuff, Windows XP stuff back then. So that was 2011, just to give clarity. And this was my I suppose my certificate 3 in IT, on the job component. I'm trying to think about where my actual set 3 is. It could be anywhere, but I can see my degree up there on my wall, but I'll get into that a bit later on. That's for a bit later on. Actually, I don't think I'll be able to grab that, but I do have it. The proof is in the pudding. Did that, and then I contacted the school a few years later just to see if they were doing any work over summer, and they were keen. I knew they'd be pretty keen on, they would normally do like the re-imaging over summer and of all the laptops, and new laptops would also come in as well. So there was plenty to do there, getting those ready, making sure that they're up to scratch and matches the SOE, and then any other little ad hoc tasks like checking the printers around the school and doing audits here and there, and just little bits and pieces. So not glamish work by any means, but definitely a good step in the right direction, that's for sure, and quite invaluable. It's all about the process. So you might be doing something right now. You might be in a position where it's not incredible work, but yeah, it's a journey. And it's not about it's not about destination. It's about the journey in terms of getting to where you want to get to and enjoying it as well. You don't want to be like, I'm only going to be happy if I become a CISO. Like, you might never become a CISO, whichever one it might be. That can be 20 years to get to a CISO, or a couple of years if you're a hacker and you're good. So I finished high school in 2012. Gosh, nearly reunion time actually in the next couple of years. So that'll be interesting to see how that all pans out. But yeah, then I think I did accounting, funnily enough, in 2013, and got back to the footy field. Aussie rules for those of you out there that might not be watching this from Australia. Played that. I didn't play. I didn't play for the AFL, but just the game at sort of a bit more of a local level. Then in 2014, I deferred my uni degree until 2014. So I then started my Bachelor of IT. I did honours, which I ended up going just normal Bachelor of IT, but then ended up getting it with honours anyway. So yeah, I was happy that ended up being the case. But so yeah, 2014, and then finished up at probably, feel like the start of 2017. So it was about a 3 or so year process. So I was just doing uni for a couple of the years, and then year 2, gosh, it was a shocker. I picked one of the units, and I think it was web programming. Ironically, I got incredibly sick. I got glandular fever, believed to be stress related, and a few early mornings and stuff just absolutely knocked me out of the park. So I was cooked for 6 months. I don't know how I got through it all, but all I did was drop web programming and somehow just stayed alive to continue on. And yeah, don't know how I did it, but it's all a bit of a blow, to be honest. But in 2016, so this was with 1 year to go, I got a role as an IT support officer. So how I got that, what did I do? I contacted like a employment agency, sort of a local one there, and my main interest was doing like a part-time IT role while I was doing uni. I thought that would be perfect, that would be ideal. I did Officeworks for a couple of months, so that was a bit of experience there. Gave that a whirl, gave that a crack, and yeah, back to school period, and I moved on and back into the uni game, the uni life, and yeah, it was, getting that IT support role was good. It was full time. Ideally, I wanted part-time, but employment agency individual was like, probably most likely full-time will be the route it'll be. And I'm like, okay, cool, fair enough. I'll see what happens. And he said, oh yeah, this company's keen. I'm like, okay, cool. So I had an interview with the recruitment agency individual that I went through. Then from there, he was happy with how I interviewed, and then obviously went on to the organisation itself and received feedback that that was positive as well. So all of a sudden I was getting some money, some decent money. So I was wrapped with that, absolutely wrapped. So I then got the role, accepted the role. So this was the start of 2016, still doing uni full time, and yeah, like luckily my first year on the job per se, I suppose it was not as busy as it was sort of later on the piece. So I through quieter times I was able to do a little bit of uni work here and there and get through all that, which was nice. So yeah, it was a bit of a challenge, no doubt. It wasn't super social, and it was pretty busy, but made my way through it at the other side and got my Bachelor of Information Technology at the start of 2017. So that was with honours, which was nice. I think that's a 70 average, I believe, thereabouts. So that was pleasing. That was nice. And sort of, as the role went on, I was I was keen to look out on other opportunities and workplaces. A lot of changes happening and things like that. And I was just ready to move on, I think. So after about 3 or so years, bit over 3 years, I looked out for. I was actually looking at my university job shop. So that's where it gets really interesting. Before I get to that, I got my CompTIA A+. I'll just block out my ID there. Yeah. So that was pleasing. That was good to get. So got that in 2018, I think. Yeah, got that a little while back. So I got some kind of cert, which was good. Just a bit of on-the-job learning and just a bit of everything. Yeah, so I was keen to suss out other opportunities. As I mentioned, I looked at the job shop for the university I went to, and I was like, okay, and I just found this cybersecurity analyst role. I'm like, okay, this looks interesting. This looks doable. Salary, that seems all right. It's a bit more than what I'm earning now. Nice. I'm like, okay, this seems doable. So I applied away, and then that was all good and well. Sent off my CV and probably a cover letter as well, I would imagine. And then I heard back from them, had a call, and it wasn't the greatest call I've ever had in terms of like from my own perspective, but they were keen to have a chat in person, and it gets pretty mental from here. So I think I had 3 or 4 interviews over the course of say a couple of months while working at my current role. My previous role at the time. Then I caught up with the security organisation, and then we had a good old chat, and it went well. It went so well that I'm currently employed, and I've been working there for just over a year. So leading up to that, though, it got a bit pear-shaped because myself and a few mates, we were elsewhere. We were interstate, and just trying to get back. I had the interview the next day. I had the Monday off of work. I learned from my previous mistakes of, just not having an extra day break after like a couple of days. Especially, it was literally a 2-day weekend, and 2-day little holiday, I suppose, if you like. Then we got back much later than anticipated. ETA was 8:30 or so on the Sunday night, and then I had the interview. I think it was around 9:30. And the place is about an hour away from where I live via a train. So that was something. That was something. So anyway, what happened is we're all pretty tired. We're pretty buggered, and we changed drivers around and whatnot. We weren't sort of really paying attention too much, and we somehow ended up going the wrong way. And then trying to get back on track, we got off track, and we got onto a dirt road, and it had rained significantly that day. And of course, when that happens, mud is sort of occurring, and my car got bogged. So therefore, we had to find a way out. It was tricky, but we did find a way. Luckily, one of the people who lived nearby happened to be living right next to where it was, and he so happened to have a tractor. Thank you very much to that man. That's arguably assisted me being able to get my job, which was incredibly beneficial. So from there, we were supposed to be back home around 8:30. I reckon we got home about 12:30. It was a little bit off course, but a miracle that I got back home, and I think I had 3 hours sleep before the interview, and I was absolutely gassed. But luckily, my now manager was also pretty gassed as well with a newborn. So we were both pretty tired, but I did well in the interview. So the interview was just more so about what skills I've got, why am I keen for the role, and a few little bits and pieces in terms of, I think just reading. They had some like fishing exercises on hand, and that was kind of cool to go through that, and then some like attack chains as well, just to sort of identify what's happening. And then we eventually touched base and said, oh yeah, still keen on a role, and I'm like, yep, sounds good, and I accepted the role. It was a big jump because obviously when you got mortgages and expenses and stuff, it feels like a big leap of faith, and you don't want things to go wrong, but it's been quite a journey. So a year later, still going along smoothly. So that's a little bit of a summary of pretty much me, day dot, step by step, every little bit of the way with me getting to the cybersecurity space. So I think a lot of people probably go, I need 20 years of experience in sysadmin before I can even think about security. But reality is, if you've got some good problem solving skills, you love the industry, and you know your way around a Windows environment well, and especially troubleshooting Windows PCs issues and Mac bits and bobs as well, if you find that applicable. That's awesome, because there's a lot of tools that do a lot of the heavy lifting, and then obviously a big part of your role is just analysing, weeding out false positives, noticing what incidents, what a real incident looks like, and going through that. And I'll happily go into more detail into some videos in the future with what that looks like as well. So it's multifaceted, that's for sure, and plenty of bits and pieces to sort of do. So that's a very summary, I guess, from day dot. So obviously met a friend who was a big fan of IT and computers. It got me right into it, got me interested, and all of a sudden then, okay, all right, when I'm looking at career paths, let's do a IT course inside of while I'm still doing school. Makes sense. From there, I did obviously some work experience for a school. That was really good, along with doing my Cert 3 at the same time. So best of both worlds there. Get a bit of theory and get a bit of practice as well, which was really invaluable. Reached out to a local employment agency, which obviously gave me a really good leg up into organisations that were, needed IT support. Obviously, that's sort of generally the first step you take, and you give that a crack. And a few years later, I was keen to upgrade. Look elsewhere, find another role, and through my my university job board, having a look around there, I wasn't necessarily going around for cybersecurity roles. I was just like, okay, something in IT sounds good, and maybe IT elsewhere, or a role that's a bit different. And I found a cybersecurity role. I feel very lucky and very privileged. I know the journey is it feels very difficult at times, and I'm sure there's people that have been out there for a while, or even sysadmins that have been in the field for 10 years. I feel very lucky, and it was a great opportunity at the time, and I'm absolutely stoked. So through applying there, obviously got my CV up to scratch. I suppose I did have some assistance with the university as well, getting my resume up to scratch in terms of what a really good template looks like, and I'd be happy to do some videos on what that looks like in the future as well. From there, that obviously applied away at that organisation. We had to chat over the phone, and just did a lot of practice interviews with I suppose other people, and just going over like what questions are people going to ask, and how to best approach it. But it's just having that attitude and the ability to stick your neck out. Obviously, it's it's not easy, and not many people are qualified for the jobs they go for, and they naturally mold into the roles. But yeah, a phone interview later, and then an actual interview later, successful one, and obviously just me accepting the role. So yeah, that's sort of my story, I guess. So I hope you guys have enjoyed hearing the story. I suppose, yeah, my university degree as well I feel like played a big part in me getting the IT support role, because just showing that I'm learning about it, and I suppose the industry, and interested in it. I feel like that was a massive part in, I suppose, yeah, ensuring that I got into the industry in the first place. So I mean, whilst it's a bit of debt in Australia, they're a little bit nicer. It sort of builds up. You don't have to pay for it up front, which is nice. But I know it might be different elsewhere, and so like to have that was really beneficial. Not to have to pay the degree up front or pay X amount of thousands per year. Like I know it can be like that around the world. So that definitely got me a foot in the door, and just talking to people and just outlining a path and making it happen. Yeah, that was sort of a big part of it. So yeah, got the job, got it going. Just got it going. So that's a summary of my story, step by step, literally how I got into the field. So I hope you guys have enjoyed the story, and I hope this is even a tool that you can use to be inspired by, or something where you can go, cool, it's doable. Even you don't have to be 25 years in the field or of IT just to get in there. You just have to just apply yourself, just be vigilant, just work hard. Keep your eye out, and just ensure your resume is up to scratch, ensure your interview skills are up to scratch, and I'll be very keen to do some more videos like that in the future, and give you guys some tips and tricks on, I suppose, getting your ideal role in IT. So thanks heaps for watching, guys. Feel free to give the video a like if you found this helpful and valuable. I hope it helps you guys out, and genuinely mean that. And if you got any questions, chuck them in the comments. If you got any further questions in regards to how I got in the field, or why am I doing what I'm doing, you're welcome to ask, and I'm happy to answer the questions, and even make videos about them. That might even be more valuable for some out there. So yeah, like the video, subscribe away, all that amazing stuff. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate your time. I'll catch you on the next video.